continue, I shall try to explain why we shall continue with puzzle rush survival. I think it is very important to practice puzzles, but not just on your level, but below your level. On the lower levels, to try to get some patterns automatically and to be better in decision making in the time scramble, but also to be more quickly in some decisions to have more time for critical decisions. Also, we shall try to practice puzzles like trying to evaluate each position like normal position in the game. We shall not solve like, oh, this is a puzzle, this is some quick win, or even checkmate, but we shall try to understand the position and to practice just like this is a normal game. So let us continue. So we go with puzzle rush survival. I shall try to explain the main ideas in each position. Okay, this is a check, but this is a free piece. The bishop is not defended. We shall just take the piece. Okay, this is just mate in one because we can take the queen and our king support it, so it's a mate in one. Okay, we can simply take a queen here and it's a back rank mate, so it's this is easy so far. We can expect first 10 pretty easy puzzles. So this is also a free piece and a back rank mate. We are taking rook on f8 here. Yes, we are not in check or something like that. So that's it. Okay, but the similar pattern here, we take the rook on d1 and it's actually a mate. Okay, let me see this one. Now I cannot take the rook, but I can give a check from here, and it seems it's a mate in one. There is no defense. Okay, this is probably the right move. Let me see. Yes, our knight covers c6 and e6, so this will not be mate in one, but it will be mate in two. We have another rook to support this mate. So, okay. Let me see, our queen is under attack, but we don't need to defend our queen because we have mate in one here. Our queen supports the bishop to deliver the mate on f2. King is trapped, surrounded by its own pieces. So this is mate in one. Here, a simple mate in one again, because our knight on g5 supports the queen to deliver the mate. Okay, I'm just checking a little bit, but it's obvious. Let me see this one. It seems again a mate in one. We can simply play this and our bishop controls g1 square. So it seems like a mate in one again. Okay. Okay, again, we have a battery, bishop and queen on the same diagonal. We cannot give a mate here. Okay, let me see. We can get a check here. Okay, is this good? Because king can then escape here. Okay, but again, king is surrounded by its own pieces, so the queen h7, and then queen g7 will be a mate here. Okay, let's try this. Okay, it's puzzle doesn't allow us to continue here, but it was pretty obvious. Okay, so our pawns are controlling d5 and f5, so this move with the rook is simply mate in one again. Okay, we have simply too many pieces around white's king, so just we need to a little bit calculate how to finish this. Okay, one knight is controlling this square, one knight is controlling this square. But it's not completely easy because it's not made in one. So, okay, but it's the reasonable way is to give this check. So, and then white king can go here or here. Let me see other threats here. White has no direct threats. White has this rook on e1. So if h1, I can give a check from here. Okay, I'm not. I shall go slowly here. So if I give a check here and king goes here, I shall try this check first. And then king can go only here. Then I can check with the rook from here, supported by our knight on f2, but that king can go back to g1. Are we controlling all squares here? And then, okay, and then rook h1 is a mate. Rook h1 is a mate because our knight is it mate. White king can take f2. Oh, maybe I'm on the wrong track here. So let me see. Can I do something better here? White has no direct threats. Maybe I can prepare check somehow. Maybe I can first jump with the knight here. Hmm. Okay, or maybe no. White queen is on e6. I'm not sure that I can give some forks here. So I'm stuck in the puzzle number 13 here. This should be a pretty easy puzzle, but it's currently not easy for me. Knights are always tricky to cover all squares with important squares with knights. It's not always easy task. Do I have something simpler? Okay, I shall try to check here on g3, even if I miss this. I didn't miss this, but I didn't see all calculations. Here, okay, I was calculating h1. Okay, after h1, I had a check which will deliver king on this square. And now, okay, yes, actually I can check from here, supported by knight on e3. And then another knight on f2 will cover other squares. Yes, this is mate in 3. Other knight will jump now and cover. Yes, this was mate in 3. But as you can see, not an easy calculation for me. Okay, and now the logical move is this one. It's not a mate because king can go here, but then okay, but then there is a tricky move with the knight, it seems, because then this pawn on g3 will be pinned and we can cover here. We can jump with the knight on on f4. This will be check, and king will be able to go only to h4. But then our knight is supporting h5 square. We are going simply to mate with the queen. So let's do this. Okay, it was over. Okay, so far pretty easy puzzles, but with some deeper calculations, so we don't need to evaluate much. we shall evaluate more on harder puzzles. This one seems a simple mate in one. Okay, let's do it. This one, it seems also a mate in one. Knight jumps here, rook controls these squares, bishop this, and our knight is also supporting this square. So this should be a mate in one. Okay. Now we play white pieces and the black king is almost trapped, or it is, but let me see what to do. Okay, it seems that we can simply push the pawn, king can go here, then we will deliver the check. It is almost a mate because king cannot run, queen needs to take, but we have another rook to deliver a mate finally. Okay, let's do it. Okay, let me see this one. Probably this is a tricky one, but it seems almost logical what to do. I guess that I need to go with the bishop here because I have two threats. One is checkmate on g2, and another one is to take the rook. But is this enough? So because if I go here, white can first take the rook with the check, we take, and then queen can take our bishop. But if queen take our bishop, then our rook delivers the mate. Our rook jumps up to e1 with a mate. Queen controls this. So maybe it's really this one. If I go here, rook will simply take. So I shall probably try this one. Bishop to f3 with double threat. White knight on c5 is not dangerous here. Okay, let's do it. So what to do here? An obvious move is check with the queen. But rook can cover. We are actually a rook down, so it seems that we need to deliver the mate here. Okay, but we can use the fact that this rook is pinned now. So if I push the pawn, if I put the pawn, there is no help. D1 is unstoppable, it seems. Bishop cannot control D1. Queen cannot jump in one move to control D1. But white can deliver checks. So if I move here, white will simply give a check. Okay, but if I cover with the bishop, there is no another check. If white tries on white squares, c8 for example, I then again cover. There is no this check because of our queen. So it seems that we can really push d2 here. Simply push the pawn. I don't want to miss this without some further checks. So let me check all other threats which white has. It seems that there are no other threats that white cannot simply control d1 square. And also it seems that we can escape from checks. It seems that we can escape from checks. And also, I don't think that we'd have some other threats here. Because if we give a check, white will cover. If we take the rook, we are not quick enough with the pawn. So I will simply push the pawn. I have no better ideas here. I'm pushing d2. Okay, first miss. Let me go on. Let me go on. Okay, our king is pretty safe here. Okay, can we simply take the bishop here? If king takes, we deliver a check, and we can at least win the rook on the next move. And also, king can escape only back to f7. Okay, we cannot simply. We shall probably just take the rook because we have no direct mate with this bishop on e5 and the queen. Okay, let me check just one more time other threats by black. I cannot see them. Other threats with white, everything seems protected. So I shall try this temporary exchange sacrifice here. I cannot do this, of course. It's protected by two pieces, actually. I can give a check with the bishop, but it will be lost. So it seems that this is the move. Simple fork. Okay, and as I already mentioned, I cannot see more. Here I shall simply take the rook on a7. Okay. So let me see this one. I simply do this. This is a check. Bishop on h6 cannot retreat. And whatever black does to cover the check, we shall simply take the bishop on h6. Yes, this was an interesting idea from white to exchange those bishops, but king is in the center, so we are using the fact that white king is in the center, so we are simply doing this. Okay, we're taking here and retaking again. So let me go on. We are on puzzle 20, one miss so far. We have 3 misses available. Okay. So of course our queen is under attack, but we have rook to deliver a check. There is no other move, but bishop takes and then queen takes is a checkmate. Okay. Okay, this is pretty nice puzzle because this pawn on g6 is very important, covering those squares. Black can only be on f8, g8, or h8. So it seems that we can simply sacrifice the rook. Black needs to take. Then queen joins the game with the check. King needs to go to g8. Queen checks first on h7 and then checkmates from first check from h7 and then checkmate from h8. Okay, let us sacrifice the rook for the attack, check, and checkmate. So how to continue here? How to continue here? So here black is of course attacking our queen. There are no other direct threats. So what can we do here? But there is a simple tactic here. We can simply take the knight on d7, temporarily sacrificing the queen, but then knight f6 is a royal fork and we are winning queen and the knight for the queen. So simple tactic, but so it's very important to practice this. It's not easy to spot some things if you are not practicing. So that's the reason why I strongly recommend to practice puzzle survival, practicing also easier puzzles which are below your actual level. So what to do here? Of course, black runs to promotion. We cannot take with the queen. with the king, queen, black queen controls this. So it's pretty dangerous for us, but the black is still two squares from promotion, so we maybe have some. Also, also there is no mate in one because pawn on d3 doesn't allow queen d3. Actually, king will take on d3. So we can prepare some threat. We can prepare some threat here. This pawn is controlling this and this. So if we check with the queen, black can go only back, and then we have some threat with d7, d8. We cannot go immediately d7 because queen controls. Our queen is needed here. But is this enough? Okay, actually, black cannot easy way to control d8 on the next move because this doesn't work because of our pawn here. This doesn't work because of our king here. So it seems that this is the solution. I'm checking a little bit more, but I cannot see anything better here. But it's miss. Okay. This was more harder than I expected. So we already missed two. Let me continue. Okay. Okay, this is almost an opening, so let's probably check here. This thing goes here. It's a mate here. If bishop steps here, we simply take. And finally, if king goes on h8, and then we shall probably deliver some smothered mate, like here, here double check, queen takes, rook needs to take because knight controls this square, and then knight f7 is a smothered mate. So let me try this one. Okay, black is giving up pieces because there is no defense from the smothered mate here. So what to do here? Can we cannot take the rook now because knight controls, but we have a threat. We have a rook f8. We are threatening this. And this is a mate because this. And this pawn cannot move. The king cannot move. We have two bishops here and here. Also, this doesn't help. We simply take. And if knight goes back, we simply take the rook, something like that. Let me check once again, but it seems that we are going with the threat here. We are going with rook f8. Okay. We are now simply taking this and winning a piece. Okay. Let me see next one. Okay, this seems like a mate in one. This move simply covers everything. Covers this, gives check, queen controls this square. So this is simple mate in one. Okay. What we have here. Okay, I cannot check here. I wanted. Okay, this is our bishop is under pin. Also, this bishop is controlling here. So I was too ambitious here. But actually, but actually, hmm. Yeah, let me try this one. Um, maybe our pawn on c5 is important. Namely, I can give a check. Actually, this is a, okay. It's not a mate in one because a rook can go back, but then we will deliver a mate. Okay, I was miscalculating. I was thinking that queen can go here, but this can be after this mate, but not after this one. So queen c8. Queen c8 is mate into. Okay. Okay, it seems that we can simply take this pawn because we have a threat. This rook on e1 is controlling this, and this rook threatens mate. After we take this, okay, white can push the pawn here or here. Then rook g1 is not a mate because king can go here. Okay. Now let me see, do we have something better here? I cannot mate from here because of this rook. So let me try to calculate this. pawn doesn't move. Okay, white can give some checks, giving up material, but this doesn't help. So after this move, reasonable is only to push the pawn. And then if we give the check, king will be here. Okay, then we can simply take this rook, if nothing else. If nothing else, we are winning the rook. We are actually winning material here. Let me try this one. Okay, we were expecting this. And let me check once again. I can't see a direct mate here, so I shall simply try to win material here. I shall simply try to win material here. Okay. Let me try something else here. So what is happening here? Okay. Okay. White has some threats, but it seems to me that White's queen is trapped here. Let me just check. I don't see other threats. Let's try to trap the queen on g5. Okay, it's not maybe that easy. It's not that easy actually, because queen can run on this diagonal here actually. But hmm. So simple moves like h6 or f6 are not working, it seems to me. Also, white bishop is controlling this diagonal. So something like queen f3 is not working. But let me see this one. Okay, okay, I'm miscalculating something. I was thinking on some move like, okay, I was wanting to transfer my knight on f6, but this is actually not possible in one move. Also, f6 square is covered. Hmm. My knight is covering h2 and f2, but f2 is defended by the rook. h2 is not reachable so easy. Queen can go to g2. King can go, white king can go to g2. I'm not sure here what to do actually. I can't see direct threats. Actually, I don't have some reasonable captures also. Okay, actually, queen cannot go here or here or here. Queen can go only here if attacked on this diagonal. Other squares are covered. Actually, okay, it can go here because it is defended by the rook. Okay. Okay, we cannot move f6 because of the pin. We can move only h6. That is, but white queen can go here or here or even here. I can go with the queen here, attacking the bishop and attacking the pawn on f2. Mhm. But white can simply move the bishop or defend it, and f2 is defended by the rook, but can we do something more here? This rook is pretty important. Okay, let me. No, oh, I just misclicked this one. So okay, we shall stop here. I shall only try to review what we missed here. I misclicked this last one. So what was this puzzle? I was trying to push d2. Can I do something better first? Can I first give the check? Yes, and what now? I don't understand because I'm down material here. Okay, but this is a threat if white takes, we simply promote with the mate. So this is probably, this is not correct. And is this simply, no, this is not a repetition of the moves. So what can we do here? Oh, it's easy. We have pawn takes with the check and it, okay. I simply missed this one. Okay, let me try another one, which we missed here. Okay. I was trying with the check. Okay, yes, that was my try first, but it's not. So what can we do here? What am I missing here? Okay, maybe just to take the pawn with the check. But then, yes, I'm again, it's just missing that I have another opportunity. So, okay. So now if we take, it's not. Okay. Okay, but if we take the queen, it's a winning pawn endgame. So we simply take with the check and then take the pawn on d3. Okay, and the last one which I actually misclicked, let me see, can I solve it actually? What I was trying to do here. Okay, one try was to move the queen here. What can I do next? Bishop move somewhere. Can I do something else? Okay, I was trying maybe this one. If rook takes, I take on g, on f2 and then take the rook back. But king can escape. I'm not sure here. Okay, let me see. Where I can jump with the knight with some threats. Okay, let me check this combination first. This. I don't know. This. Attacking our knight. No. Okay. If I put h6, Queen can go here or here or here. Too many squares. It seems that I cannot solve this one. But do I have more material here? No, I have material is equal. Queen, two rooks, and one minor piece. Actually, I am a pawn down. So move like this. Trying to exchange queens doesn't make much sense. Move like this, one attacks the rook, but I have no other threats here. Okay. It seems that I'm pretty blind here. Maybe I can go indeed here or here. Or even here. But I cannot then sacrifice the queen because nothing supports something like this. Okay, I shall simply try my ideas. So what if I do this? No. Okay. This is the move and unbelievable. Unbelievable. What is our threat? Of course, we will now take this, but what we are threatening here? I am not sure because king can always go to g2. I am simply not clever for this one. What is the exact threat here? Okay, maybe we are going to move the queen also on the last rank and then give some threats. I'm not sure. Let me see. Okay. Okay. Of course, the only move is this one. White is giving off material, but what is actually our threat? Of course, okay, if we take We have nothing, but we can somehow double our heavy pieces on the last rank. No, I'm not sure about this. Okay, so I was not especially good this time, but we shall continue to practice and see you next time. Thank you for watching.